Hello and welcome back to the video. My name is Crashy, and today we're going to be talking about how to improve and how to win fights on high ping. Now, if you guys don't know, again, this is always a topic that I'm adamant about, something that I'm always excited to talk about. I am a Central player. I play from Houston, Texas, and I average pretty much anywhere between 30 to about 50 ping, sometimes less, around 25, sometimes more, around 60 or 70, depending on what server I'm playing on and just kind of like how the connection is for the day, I guess. And ultimately, I've just been looking for ways to improve as a player, and I have found a particular playstyle that I feel like suits me, and I want to share it with you guys to maybe implement some of these tricks and tips into your gameplay if you are someone like me that does not have the superpower of being able to take walls on the first try, or sometimes even ever unless they're not looking at you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So first and foremost, I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to Rogue Shark. Rogue Shark is actually a solo qualified player that plays with about 60 to 70 ping consistently, who qualified through the like World Cup open events in week number 5 for solos. Rogue Shark is someone that doesn't have much of a name in the community, and it took me a little bit to find him, but I found his Twitch channel, and I'm gonna have that linked in the description down below. I've definitely learned a lot from him just in like the 1 or 2 streams that I've viewed of his, consistently watching him lose his walls and find ways to outplay his opponents. And ultimately it's led into this new kind of play style and like adaptation that I'm now using in my games as well. So first and foremost, I want to say, as a person that's talking about how to improve, I want to go ahead and give this tip because this is part of it. If you see the gameplay in the background, I'm playing on my account, Crashy W Keys. This account is an account that is just a smurf, it's a backup. I have gone all the way up to 375 points on this account. I've dropped down to 265 points, currently sitting right around 300. And ultimately, the reason I bring this up is because I use this account to play arenas free of worry. I don't care about my points. It's not my name. It's not my main account. I don't care what the name on it is. I just am using this account to practice. And when you can get in this mental state where you're just not concerned with anything other than the gameplay, and you can put yourself in a situation where you can fight more players, it's going to help you in the long run. So Crashy W Keys, this is my fighting account. I look to fight people. I look to put myself at disadvantages at times. I look to try to be aggressive. I look to try to play passive. And ultimately, I want to recommend something like this for anybody that's trying to find a way to improve their play style and doesn't want to be attached to their arena points. And even if you are, that's fine, but find a way to get around that by using a Smurf account. That's all I'm going to say. That's my little tip. Now, if you guys are watching the gameplay in the background, you should see that a lot of my fights, I am choosing, it is my choice whether I take the fight, whether the fight is taken, is forced upon me. I take a lot of my fights inside of a box. This is kind of like a false sense of security for the other player. Sometimes they have damage on me, sometimes I'm full health, sometimes they don't even know what my health is, but ultimately I have found a very comfortable position sitting inside my box. But Crashy, you might say, I thought you were playing with high ping. I thought they take your walls. They do. But what they don't have control over is how I choose to play against them pursuing my walls. More often than not, I find myself finding a quick edit shot, closing back up, or quickly spreading my turtle horizontally, out, left, right to a new box, new 2 boxes or so, or maybe even up and down some, depending on the elevation, and ultimately keep them chasing. This is a game of cat and mouse with high ping where you have to constantly be moving and constantly be annoying your enemy. The reason I find this playstyle to be so effective is because it's agitating. It is very annoying to play against someone that does this, and ultimately I have used this playstyle in so many games now, and I'm actually finding results with it. This is not just a game, this is not just something that I'm introducing for the sake of a video. I am starting to play this game in a very defensive, kind of cat and mouse way, where the enemy player who's pursuing me, whether they take the wall or not, when I spread into a new box, it's even, it's 0-0 again. Every time they take a wall, if I spread out without taking damage, it's an even fight all over again. And you want to make them do this as much as you can while looking for damage yourself. The first tip of this is that I do not care about my pyramid. I think this is a really important tip because there's something to be earned from the other player when they take your pyramid and they think that they're making progress towards getting closer to you, and then you cut open your ceiling and you land a combat shot or attack shot on them. This is where you start to inch your way towards victory. Now, I don't think this is going to be a very long video, because ultimately, if you're watching some of the gameplay, I think it speaks for itself. This is my new playstyle. I have actually pursued fights where I'll take damage, or I'll get damage on the player and I'll box up, because ultimately I think it's going to give me my best scenario for winning. I don't really build fight people. I'm not really good at creative and not the best builder in the world, but I've found some success with editing through boxes, being sneaky and keeping my enemy chasing, agitated, and not really knowing what my next play is. The thing I love to do is to let them start taking my wall, and when they're mid-swing, obviously I'll cut an arch and I'll look to run toward them and take shots. Now, the reason this is important, the run towards them part is important, is because it doesn't really allow them to get away from you. And with them having their pickaxe out, if y'all are both 100-100, you should have the first combat shot or the first shotgun shot in your favor, and you should be able to stay close enough to them that you can phase through their builds and stay inside the same range as them to continue to land shots. If you don't, if they do get away from you, you can always just box yourself back up or run to the side, box yourself back up, and start this process over. There does hit a certain point where I do believe going on the offensive with this makes sense. If a player takes too much damage and it wasn't lethal, then you can chase towards their box, and that is where a lot of the kind of issues with playing with higher ping kicks in again, trying to get in their box, trying to take walls. It's a really hard thing to do. So truth be told, I do use ramp exploits or ramp momentum, flint knock momentum on ramps to get myself into boxes, and I will be the first one to tell you, I die to trap kills a lot doing this, but I have found some success. So that's my tip, guys. There is a way to improve on high ping. It is not gonna bring you up to the same abilities as a low ping player. I truly stand by my stance that low ping is the biggest advantage you can have in this game, and I definitely hope to see some changes in the future, but that doesn't mean that you can't improve. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please give me a like on the video. I'm definitely still trying to grind out some YouTube and put out some good content. Let me know what your thoughts are again, and I'll see you on the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earth?